Hello, welcome to Beyond the Real. My name is Alex.
I'm Mark.
Today we're going to be talking soul.
Well, this film, I didn't really, expect much going into it because I don't really go watching Pixar films, as soon as they come out. I don't usually do that. But this Pixar film, everybody was talking about it, and it was on Disney Plus, for free. So I was like, you know what?
Free.
Yes, not Mulan.
Not $30.
Yeah, not
free.
That one. But this film, I actually did enjoy it. Jamie Foxx did awesome. Voice actor Joe Gardner was great, and I actually do love that this film was not a musical. The music though in it, the instrumentals was awesome. I love the piano, the jazz. I love it. It was great, and yeah, that's what I got so far.
Yeah. So basically, to start off the same way Mark did, I never would have seen this movie on my own, but we decided to check it out for the channel, and really the only thing I'd really heard about this movie was from a coworker, and they told me about it, and I was kind of like, yeah, sure, whatever. But I'm really satisfied and really happy that I did watch it, because I went in not knowing anything. I'd never seen a trailer or anything like that. So taking this all in, for the first time, all this information was, I don't know, I feel like it really helped, because I agree with Mark, the voice acting was great, the animation was great, there's a lot of beautiful images, beautiful imagery, beautiful scenes, there's a lot of emotion, there's great music, and overall there's just so many very touching, very mature themes in this movie.
Very.
And by mature, I don't mean adult, 18 and up kind of stuff. I mean stuff that older people will really connect with. That's what I mean when I say mature.
Yeah. I guess it was kind of like Coco, not fully on Coco, but how I feel like Coco had mature parts in it, basically the death parts of the film. That's what they were dealing with. Joe Gardner ends up dying in this film, falling down a sewer, and then we follow his soul and 22 Soul, also by Tina Fey. We follow both of them throughout the film, and basically Joe Gardner wants to get back to Earth. He wants to make it to his jab. Yeah, he wants to make it back to his body by 6 o'clock so he can play with this group that he's been wanting to play with for a long time. And it's crazy. This film it takes place within a couple hours too. It's crazy. But 22 and him end up going back to Earth. They get help from a hippie guy. Do you remember? I don't. But they get help from him and they go back to Earth. But instead of Joe Gardner getting his body back, 22 actually goes into his body, and then Joe Gardner goes into the body of a cat. So he's basically navigating her throughout the city. She's eating pizza, just enjoying life. Just seeing everything for the first time, and she loves it so much that she ends up wanting to stay. And Joe Gardner, he's wanting to go back into his body to go do his show, but 22 is not having it. And then that's when we got our little pesky friend there searching for Joe Gardner in the soul world. He finally is able to come back and get him and takes him back into the soul world, and that's when more sadness happens.
Yeah. So yeah, that's basically what we can say for now. That this is good so far, but now we'll be going into spoiler territory.
Oh, sorry.
So no, you didn't go too far.
Okay.
So we will be going into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the movie, make sure you watch it and then come back. But 3, 2, 1, spoilers. Okay. So yeah, this movie really was something else, and I really enjoyed the characters, and like he was saying, that relationship between Joe and 22, as Joe having to be the one with the rebel, the troublemaker, and trying to put that troublemaker on the right path. But this troublemaker kind of didn't want to, basically the story is that 22 needs to find something that they're passionate about, but 22 doesn't want to do that because they would much rather stay in that soul realm. And one of my favorite aspects is that the whole movie didn't just take place in that soul realm. they jump between Earth and that soul realm. And it was really touching to see this person who had no interest in something, come into Earth and actually live as a human and like experience all this for the first time and actually, start to enjoy little things and find stuff that they really wanted to enjoy and actually, turn themselves around and want to come to Earth. So I thought that aspect of the film was really, really cool. And another thing was just the way how quickly 22 adapted to the Earth world, because of course Joe's there to as the cat to like guide her along a little bit, but it was nice to see like that moment where she rips the suit pants and like she goes to his mom to get him fixed, and like they have that moment where he's a cat and 22 isn't familiar with Joe's mom, but she kind of like improvs like a quick like, this is what we need to do, and they had like that nice little heartfelt moment. So I thought it was cool that 22 was able to adapt so quickly and kind of just speak from the heart without really having a relationship with Joe's mom. So I thought it was cool that she quickly adapted to that kind of stuff.
That's basically what 22 brought to his character, was the heart. Because even the barbershop scene, like how him and the 22 and the barber were just talking, just about normal life. But when Joe would go in there as himself, they would just talk about jazz the whole time. Now when 22's in there in Joe's body, they're 22 and the barber, they're able to talk about other things, just life in general. And the barber really appreciated that. I think everybody in the barbershop really appreciated that. And Joe, he was actually, he's starting to realize, it's not always just about jazz.
Yeah.
He's learning that throughout the whole movie, because that's what he's focused on, just jazz.
Yeah, that he's real passionate about jazz,
Yeah.
and he kind of forgets to enjoy some of the other stuff in his life. So I did like, in that scene that's basically what it tells you, that he's so focused on one thing that he kind of forgets to enjoy the other things.
Yeah.
And like even when he leaves like the barbershop, that they have that great conversation, and then the barber's like, man, Joe was like, why have we never had a conversation like this? And he's just like, well, because you always want to talk about jazz. So it's refreshing to have just a normal conversation. So I thought that was really cool. That was really nice.
Yeah. It was just a really touching movie. Even at the end, 22 ends up the guy, I can't remember his name, but it's the guy who's really likes his job a lot, and he goes back and gets 22 and gets Joe and takes him back into the soul world. And basically 22 also in this film, she earned her Earth badge, right? Yeah, she earned her Earth badge, so she was able to go back even after the guy brought them back into the soul world, but instead she gave it to Joe. And after that you could see Joe didn't want that anymore. He felt bad. He was basically a mentor for 22, and he basically destroyed her, and she became a lost soul. And we got to see some of that too. And there's a sea of lost souls, and they're just there when they can't find their passions, or they just give up and they're just nothing anymore.
Yeah, and I like that the movie kind of dove into that they had that aspect of like, there's a lot of people that can be passionate about something, and there's some that kind of just lose their way. And I like the way this movie handled that, because it did it in a way to where even like little kids and all that could understand, or even people who aren't necessarily to that stage in life, that they present it in a way to where they can understand. And I like that that also played a part in the film, with them kind of just going through it quickly, and then later on 22 becoming like a lost soul, so to say.
Yeah. And at the end of the film, it was really good to see. You got to see 22 actually go to her and Joe have a moment together where she's still scared to go down there as a soul on her own, and he ends up they hold hands together all the way down until as far as he can go, because he can only go halfway. Yeah. And 22 she ends up going down there. I don't think we see her again actually after that. And Joe has a moment with one of the operators there, and they tell him like they they tell him, you know, you've earned your way back to Earth, basically, and they give him a second chance, and he goes back to Earth, and he's actually able to, you know, enjoy the little things that he wasn't enjoying before. But I mean, that's all I could really. It was a great, you know, Pixar film. One of the good ones, I would say.
Yeah, because I mean, just to add to what he was talking about earlier, it's like, honestly, my favorite scene was that scene that he was talking about where, you know, Joe has been, his whole life, he claims, was just to play this one gig, and then he plays that one gig, and then, you know, he finally did it and he knocked it out of the park, but it turns out to be, he doesn't have that satisfaction that he thought he would get from it. And then there's just like that, the next scene where he just goes home after he lost 22, and then he's just like playing the piano, and then like there's no dialogue, it's just him playing that pretty music, and then like there's like little flashes of his life that, you know, it just tells you that he didn't really enjoy the things because he was so focused on one thing. And like that made me tear up, because like, I don't know, it just really hit me. And like, you know, for them to tackle such a big theme like that in a film, well, what's supposed to be like a family kids movie, so to say, you know, I thought that was very bold and very brave. But yeah, you know, I really enjoyed the movie. I'm really satisfied that I watched it. And did you have an MVP in mind?
I mean, I would say, I guess Jamie Foxx, because even in Jamie Foxx, he was still voicing as 22. It was 22 in the way, yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I guess really Jamie Foxx would get the MVP for this film.
Personally, I would probably give it to Tina Fey, but I mean, basically for the same reasons. But yeah, that's our MVP picks today. And lastly, so that's what we have to say about Soul, and we hope you check it out. I would recommend it.
Yes, totally recommend it.
So thank you for watching. Thank you for hanging out with us today. This is Beyond the Real. My name is Alex.
I'm Mark.
And we hope to see you soon.